first of all, thank you for. We're happy to see you again.
As always.
Yes, thank you.
Did we say hi, Sarah?
I think we
I'll
said
say
hi,
it again.
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Love your new haircut.
You chose to talk about something that is, I mean, you know, this is your favorite. Me asked, so we're talking about her favorite actresses, and I said, well, her favorite actresses just happened to be our favorite actresses. So how convenient for us.
There's only one that I don't. I mean, I like her very much. I admire her, but I don't have the passion for her that the two of you do.
Can you guess?
Yes, I think I could guess.
Who?
Julie.
Yeah, Julie. I mean, how can you not adore her? But
yes.
She's not like on my top 10, you know, most.
And to be honest,
We're talking about Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews. I love her as an actress, and I think she's very underrated as an actress, and always has been. I think attention needs to be paid. She did there's some amazing work out there that she's done.
Oh, absolutely.
But she's sort of my favorite human being.
She's a divine human being.
Yes. And that's really where my passion lies, is that she's just, you know.
I agree.
She's everything.
I find that with Julie, it's kind of like a love for life. You know, you just love her, and she's just
she's so good, and she's so kind, and yet she's salty.
She's so funny
and she's a great broad.
Yes.
If everybody were like Julie Andrews, we'd be living in a perfect world.
I totally agree, and I've loved her since I was 2 or 3 years old. So she's always been my icon, the person I wanted to be growing up, the person who, you know, set that bar so very high,
and especially I
my self-esteem. But
when she lost her voice, what she did with that, if I didn't admire her before that really left me in awe, because I mean,
she just found another purpose.
She so made lemonade, like
yeah.
She just, her attitude is always, and then every time you talk to her. Every time you hear her talk in interviews, she's always like, I'm the luckiest person on the planet. I just happen to be at the right place at the right time. I'm the luckiest person on the planet. She's so humble. She's so
humble.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah. And then she just found a whole new voice for herself and didn't become this bitter person who she could totally be. And nobody would even, you know, everybody would understand if she had to. But yeah.
Yeah.
And she's also a wonderful writer. She's been writing all these children's books and her memoir, of course.
Yeah, I actually, when I was in LA, had several opportunities. I found out to meet her at book signings.
Oh.
And I kept missing them for her children's books. She would do them, you know, once or twice a year for a while, and I kept missing those opportunities. But for some reason, the stars were aligned, and for her autobiography, I found out about it ahead of time, made total arrangements, and spent the whole day, and finally got to meet her.
Wow! And did you talk?
We did, yeah. And well, literally, I was there. The whole day was spent. I was there. I think around 4:30 in the morning.
Oh my God!
I took 3 buses to get there because it was out of my neighborhood. Obviously, in LA, everything's out of your neighborhood. But I was not the first person there. I was like the 10th or 11th, 12th person there in line in front of the bookstore, waiting for the bookstore to open at 7 or something.
Oh my God.
To get her tickets to make sure, because I was like, I am not missing this opportunity. This is probably my one and only time. So I and a few other crazies got there first thing in the morning. We got our tickets and our books, and then I took 3 buses back home, showered, changed, took 3 buses back to be there because we all had plenty of time to talk to one another in the morning. So we became friends.
Yes.
And made arrangements to meet back at 4:30-ish to be first in line for the book signing, which didn't even start till 7:30 that night. But we just wanted to spend more time together, really. talking about her. I mean, that's all we did. And so it was a full day of Julie. And
Traveling and Julie.
yeah, exactly. So they had it set up really great. It was, roped off with the table for her in the middle, and you had an entrance and you had an exit. And what I realized, because a couple of us stayed and just sort of watched the proceedings because we were first. We got through pretty quickly. But I realized her manager was standing at the entrance and talked to each person before he took them to the table for their moment with her. And what he was doing was getting a hook for that person so that he could then bring them to the table and introduce them to her with this bit of information about them so that she could start a conversation.
That's so great.
So it was as much for her as for the fan who's probably freaking out as they do. And so for me, one of the managers of the event happened to be standing there, and she remembered me from that morning being in line. And she's like, oh my gosh, she was here before the sun came up. So the manager took that, and that was his hook. And he introduced me at the table as being one of the first people in line that morning to get a ticket. And it was the most fortuitous line cue you could ever have, because really the only thing I wanted to tell her was that I loved her and that I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. And so that's, as soon as she said that, that was my response. Well, I've been waiting my whole life for this.
What's a few hours online?
Wow. And the other thing I did was I brought my copy of Mandy, her first book, her first children's novel. And it's tattered. It's got, tape holding the spine together.
That's beautiful.
So I put it in a plastic bag for traveling purposes mainly, so it wouldn't fall apart. But I wanted to bring that and make that the focus of her as a writer. Because everybody just talks about her as a singer or as, Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music, and that's all they talk about. That's it. But she's done so much more, and she is so much bigger than that.
Including recently directing My Fair Lady.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. And I saw her production of The Boyfriend, which she directed.
Oh, that you directed. I was like, how did you? Because Mimi saw her in...
I missed her.
You saw her in Camelot?
No, I missed her in Camelot and My Fair Lady by just
And you didn't see The Boyfriend?
No, but
I did see Victor Victoria.
But I saw Victor Victoria and Putting It Together on Broadway.
Oh,
yeah.
I wish I could have seen Putting It Together.
She saw Funny Girl with Barbara on Broadway.
Yeah, I saw a lot of great performances.
Yeah.
A lot
Sorry,
of iconic
but I interrupted you.
But anyway, she was amazing in Victor Victoria on stage. Unbelievable.
I saw Victor Victoria in Chicago.
Oh, fabulous.
Broadway. Amazing.
Did you see her Julie Andrews Hour?
Yes.
You have all of them?
I don't have all of them. I've seen bits and pieces in a few, major sections. They need to put that on DVD.
Yeah, I have all of them, including bloopers.
Wow. I have bloopers.
We'll have to do an exchange program here.
Well, I guess we won't be talking about anybody else today.
Oh, we will. We have time. But before we do, besides Victor Victoria, because that's obviously, what is your favorite Julie movie? I know it's a tough one. Even I didn't really think about it.
And I never think about Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music because they're just in a class all their own as movies, let alone her absolutely perfect performances. And they are perfect. So putting them aside, I love all of her performances. That's the thing. Even the not so great movies, she's amazing, and you watch it to watch her. But I love Americanization of Emily.
That was going to be my choice.
And I have another one, but yes,
I love that movie.
It's a great movie. Didn't she get nominated?
I don't
know.
No.
Are you sure?
It was between the big ones,
sure.
So it would have been at the same time. But I think more people should watch that. She's so brilliant, and she and James Gardner are just perfection.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It really is.
Yeah, and the message is really important.
Right.
But I love her performance in Star.
It was fabulous.
Fantastic.
Glorious film as well.
It's Gertie Lawrence, right?
Gertrude Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, she was able to show everything that she can offer.
I love her as a dancer, by the way. Nobody ever talks about her as a dancer. She's a phenomenal dancer.
She can do anything.
She can do anything and everything.
Darling Lily, too, by the way.
Darling Lily, which was at the same time.
Yeah.
I love Lily. There's some very wonderful moments in that film. But as an actress, if we're focusing on her as an actress, I don't think there's anything that can top Duet for One.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Me neither.
And actually, that's what Gemma Redgrave is going to do now. That's why she's leaving Holby City. She's doing Duet for One on stage.
It's a great play. I've seen the play. I've read it.
Yeah.
And the movie isn't perfect, but if you want to see Julie's acting chops in their full, amazing, jaw-dropping glory, you have to see that film.
I have all of them. We should watch it again. I haven't seen it.
I'm sure I saw it. I just,
yeah.
I've seen 5,000 movies.
It's Julie like you've never seen her and will ever see her again. It's
a movie that has a special place in my heart, and I've been trying to get to we should finally get to actually watch it together, is I believe it was called That's Life. And just because of the chills that I get thinking about how close it came to be to reality, is just, it's hard to fathom, and it's
Well, both of them, they came out at the same time. She did them back to back.
And she also
Duet for One is about a musician losing her ability to play. So they were so, it gives you chills when you think about what happened 6 years later.
And also another movie that I know, again, wasn't a fantastic movie, but again, important message, was Our Sons.
Yes.
Which was about the AIDS. She and Anne Margaret
both
had
that was a TV movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
She has done so much more than people actually remember, because they always think Mary Poppins and Sound of Music.
That's what Sarah said, yeah.
And it stops there. And it's like, no.
I mean, Eloise at the Plaza.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, she was hilarious. That is one of her best performances, like, in later years, because it was a character part. I'm so sick of her playing queens. She's a queen.
I love her as Queen of Genovia.
Yes.
She's Princess Diaries.
And they're doing another one. I hope that she's going to be in it.
Yes.
How could she not be in it?
She's the movie.
She and Hector Elizondo, they all have to be in it.
Hector Elizondo, whose apartment I lived in. Not while he was living there, after him.
Who would you want to talk about next?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about Wendy Crewson.
Have you now?
Yes, I don't know why. She just popped in my head. And I love your vlog on
An
Unexpected Love. It was that was very good. She's very good in that movie.
She's very good in everything.
She's very good in everything, and that's what I've been thinking about. And I think one of you said in the vlog, she's like the Meryl Streep of Canada.
We both said it.
Yeah.
Can we turn Sarah up a little bit? Just a little bit. Otherwise, there's feedback. Yeah.
And that hit me. And as much as I love Meryl Streep, I do. She's not my favorite actress. So my correlation is she's the Canadian Judi Dench.
Oh,
okay, that's a pretty big compliment too.
And here's the parallel is that, like Judi Dench, Wendy never shows her acting. She never shows her work. Mm-hmm. She's always believable. She's always true. Even her outrageous characters, and she's played them.
Yes, she has.
Very funny, and she's had some pretty out there characters. They're always believable. They're always real. They're always three-dimensional. They always have some kind of relatability, empathy. something beyond the words, something beyond the character or caricature that could have been just a caricature with another actor. She always brings humanity and heart. And that's the thing for me with Judi Dench, is that you never ever see her acting. She is always real, 100%. And you don't care what work they've done, homework-wise, to create that part. You never see their work.
Mm-hmm.
And not all actors can say that.
No, many actors can't say that. I remember seeing Al Pacino first time he did show on Broadway, something of Pablo Hummel. And I just hated it because I could see every choice he made, especially as an actor.
Yes.
I could see being an actress. I saw the work in every line he read, and it was so annoying. And I feel that way about him a lot.
Yeah. There are a lot of, these great screen actors that everybody's seen and they laud them. And it's like, yeah, but if you can see their work, or they get to a point where their ego comes through, and so they're, making this, creating this great character or this esteemed piece, theater, actor kind of stuff.
But those people would never be my favorites.
No, never.
You know what I think it is? I think that she really is very warm, and I think she is very caring, and I think she just really relates to people. And she has talked a lot about playing real life people and how that's her favorite thing. And I think that's one of my favorite things, is to see her play real life people, because you can tell how important it is to her to do justice to the person and how much she relates to the person. So I think, an actor can be either here or here. There are a lot of actors who are in their head and who try to make right choices. I think for her, she does all the work, but then she just lets it go and becomes the person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And even the very thankless parts that she's played, and she's played many.
Tiny.
Please. Wife of and mother
Wife
of.
of and the mother of. And you remember them because she makes them real.
Yeah, she makes
She infuses everything with so much warmth.
Yeah.
She never leaves the screen the same way as it was before she came on.
Exactly.
That's a very good. I like that.
I mean, I remember watching The Santa Claus, the first one, and it's like another actor would have just been the nagging, bitchy ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
And no, she was the mom. She was the, there was history there with reasons why she was reacting to Scott the way she did, the frustration and all of this, and the disbelief in what he was changing into, and you totally understood where she was coming from all the time. And and she does that with everything.
She does.
You always know where the character is coming from because you can relate to it. She makes it relatable.
You know what? It's not the first time when I was a little girl, I was obsessed with the movie The Good Son. I don't know why, because it's a very disturbing movie for a child to be obsessed with. But
it wouldn't be the first weird movie you were obsessed with as a child.
AKA Bitter Moon. Forget about it. So
Yikes.
So anyway,
should have scared me off.
But anyway, so it's not the movie that I'm going to talk about is not the first movie I obviously had seen her in, but it's the first movie I fell in love with her. And everybody thinks it's an unexpected love, but it's not. I fell in love with her in a tiny movie called Jack.
Yes!
And I'm thinking, half the time she had her face looked like a hamburger because she was an abused wife. And nevertheless, I sat there and thought, who is this woman? And it was before I think I even discovered IMDb, because it was way back. And then I saw An Unexpected Love, and I said, I know this woman. And I looked her up and thought, that's her. So you see, I fell in love with her in a movie where she had maybe 10 minutes of screen time. Most of the time, I couldn't tell what she really looked like. But she just she kind of broke my heart.
Yeah.
So that's a great example.
She's a fine actress, and she's a beautiful person, and it shines through in all her roles. She's just a beautiful human being.
I find it very funny that the first movie I saw her in was Karina, with Whoopi Goldberg. And again, thankless role. She's, this widow who's after the guy, shamelessly after him. This prim, perfect 50s uber mother, housewife persona. Very character, it's a character part. And she plays it to the hilt. But again, she brings heart to it, so you don't hate her. You understand where she's coming from. There's relatability there. But then soon after, I saw Better Than Chocolate, and I was like, that was a precursor to Lila. Because she wanted to be the 50s mom, and have the perfect family and everything, and yet, it's the 1990s or whatever, and her family is not anything but perfect.
She's so cute in that movie. She's got the
pearls, and she's, trying to
steals the show.
She steals that movie.
She steals that show.
Well, but from those young girls.
The heart and the relatability she brought to that character.
Again, she could have been a caricature, but she was not.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was so not.
Yeah.
No, because she's always real.
Because she always adds dimensions to every character.
Yeah. Yeah. She's amazing.
What was your favorite movie of her?
Well, I did look her up on IMDb recently, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much I haven't seen.
Yeah,
just because there's so much.
There's so much. She's done so much.
Her body of work is immense.
Well, and especially because it includes a lot of those movies where she has 5 minutes of screen time.
Right. And there's a lot of TV stuff that I haven't.
If you want, I can go over them
TV
with you.
movies.
Yeah. Not just TV movies, but the shows. The series.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Regenesis. I love that TV series.
Yeah, there's a lot on my to watch list with her. But what I have seen, favorite. I mean, it's hard to beat Lila.
To beat what?
Better Than Chocolate. It's hard to beat that. I mean, that was and Mac in Unexpected Love. The character, what she created with that character is perfection to me.
Well, I didn't even think. I mean, that to me is again kind of like Mary Poppins and Sound of Music. It's like on another category out of the ones that are off the lesbian list.
Yes.
Mercy. Did you ever see Mercy?
I saw Mercy.
Terrible movie, but I love that movie. And she is so hot in that movie.
So hot.
I mean, let's talk hot, okay?
And then you combine her with Peter Wilson in a dressing room.
Oh, yeah. The other one I love is Suddenly Naked.
I don't think I saw that.
You saw it in Israel when you were jet lagged and sleeping. Yes, I will show it to you again. But it's an adorable movie.
Adorable movie. And she's so outrageously wonderful and fabulous. And she, again, is the movie.
Oh, well, she is the movie, though. She's meant to be the movie.
She's a great comedic actress.
So funny.
When you think of the depths of her dramatic chops, but her comedy, her timing is absolutely spot on. She is great.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite is a very tough movie, but it's my favorite performance of hers, which is the Many Trials of One Jane Doe.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't found that.
Oh, it's the first 5 minutes of the movie. She already like made me scream of you're so good. It's a really, really, really good story. Good. I mean, it's a true story. And she is just. I mean, it's really my favorite performance of hers. And
I need to see that.
Yeah, you do. We need to hook you up with some. I have a Wendy collection. We'll talk later.
I can't wait in 10 years if I'm still alive.
Excuse me?
To be talking about Tatiana Maslany's body of work.
Well, she already has a huge body of work just
yes,
from this
just
one
from
show.
one series. But
Oh,
I'm eager to see where she
Yeah.
goes next, because even in I'm just digressing to Canadian actresses. Even in the small role she had in Woman in Gold, The Woman in Gold,
Yeah.
she was so affecting and
Well, how can
effective.
she- I mean,
She's such a great.
I don't think she can
I
ever
think
be
she's
bad.
going to be one of our great, great, great film actresses. I really,
Mhm.
really do. TV
Yeah. I mean,
actresses.
this girl should have by now a room full of scripts waiting for her to read at the end of
I'm
doing
sure she
Orphan Bride.
does.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
who wouldn't want her in their movie/TV shows?
I would want her in my living room just to see her breathe. I mean,
Now, I know that your third choice is also somebody we're quite fond of, and we may have mentioned her once or twice before on our vlog.
once or twice.
Remind me who it was?
That would be a one Cate Blanchett.
oh my dear.
Whoa.
Where to begin?
Now, did you
Where
get
to
to
begin?
see? Did you get to see? What was it?
Oh my God.
Oh,
Manifesto.
Manifesto. Did you get to see Manifesto?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Okay, because I was so happy that it actually came out as a movie because we saw,
saw
the original installation.
The installation at the Armory, the Park Avenue Armory, and it was mind-blowing. It was a mind-blowing 2 hours
It was.
to be in the middle of all that. It's
in the middle of all of her.
I don't think that the film can capture the experience,
No,
but
it
at least you can. At least it will capture the virtuosity.
Yeah,
Good.
because one of the things that you will see there, and I'm assuming that the movie just has all the stories one after another, but when you're in the middle of this hall, and she is literally everywhere around you on huge screens, and then
Wow.
what he did was he all of the manifestos are the same exact time, and when they end, they have this little kind of a monotonous kind of manifesto that they recite.
It's very rapid fire and very.
And it's a close up of her face and whatever character she is, and they all do it at the same time, all around you.
What is it? 12 screens.
13.
13 screens.
So
Wow.
it was standing in a completely dark hall, just the screens, just her face, her huge face, 13 times around you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was an
I would-
amazing experience.
One of my dreams is to see her live on stage.
Well, we saw her live on stage and we left at intermission. We left at intermission. The play,
not her fault. She
not
was
her
wonderful.
fault. She was fabulous, but we didn't. It wasn't. The play to us was so bad,
So bad.
and there was still quite a bit to come. That we said, well, we've seen her.
Was it on TDF?
There she
At some
is.
point, because I remember thinking, if Cate Blanchett is on TDF, that's a really bad show.
Yeah, but it was on TDF, but we paid full price.
no, but what I'm saying is
And we
the
had
fact
very
that
good
they had a
seats, I
show
think.
with Cate Blanchett in it, and it ended up being on sale for $30,
Ugh.
means that the show is really terrible.
$44.
$44.
Yeah, it
Means
was
that it's a
tough.
very bad show.
We couldn't sit it out. Just like I couldn't sit out Jessica Lange's Streetcar Named Desire.
Really?
No.
But she was wonderful
Wasn't
in her
her
long
fault.
day's journey into
She was
night.
brilliant in A Long Day's Journey. It wasn't her fault. She didn't have. You could tell that the director didn't help her, and she needed help, and it was too painful. That's why my friend Maureen and I both said, I don't think we can take another second of this.
Now I
hard.
haven't seen nearly enough of Kate's work because I'm not a fan of the genre of the Elizabeth.
I saw them
movies.
all.
But Blue Jasmine.
You know, it's interesting. I was thinking about that too, and because I was, thinking about the three that we had decided to talk about, and this idea of showing your work as a sort of a point for me, and. Going back to Judi Dench, one of my favorite Cate performances is Notes on a Scandal.
Notes on a Scandal is probably my favorite.
Yes, it is my favorite Cate performance. It's my favorite Judi performance. They need to work together.
I've seen it 5 or 6 times.
It's again a very difficult movie.
Very difficult.
Performances blow my mind. Blow my mind.
It's an amazing film.
It is.
You never see their work. It's not acting.
No, that's why it's so chilling.
You never see.
That's
Kate's
why
work.
it's so chilling, because you're like peeking through a keyhole.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a viewer.
Yes, and that's why it's so disturbing.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I had to laugh because Kate's 2 Oscar performances. Sorry,
That's okay.
but they're 2 of my least favorites.
I loved Blue Jasmine.
Oh, I loved Blue Jasmine.
I love Blue Jasmine, but I didn't like. Maybe it's because I didn't like the character.
Well, you're not supposed to.
You're
She's
not-
not very likable.
You know, if you liked her, she wouldn't be doing her job, Sarah.
Yes, but it felt sometimes, and maybe it was my projection of not liking the character, that I felt, I was seeing acting.
Well,
The character was acting most of the time, so it was like, what am I seeing? Am I seeing Kate's acting, or am I seeing the character's acting?
It's a Woody Allen film.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have to understand that a Woody Allen film is a Woody Allen film.
Yes.
And you have to go with your director's ideas. And yet, I think she transcended him.
And I think also she absolutely transcended him.
I think she transcended him.
But I think also when you go to see a Woody Allen movie, you kind of know what you're gonna get.
Yes.
It's a very, very specific style.
Oh,
and,
yes.
But I absolutely think that she made it much more than a Woody Allen movie.
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree with that.
It's just the character's neuroses were so extreme. It's hard to escape from underneath them, and yet
well, she was over the top, and she was meant to be.
She was meant to be, and she's Blanche Dubois.
Right.
That's who she's playing, and Blanche Dubois never was under the top.
It would be interesting to see Kate's Blanche Dubois.
Well, she did it
authentically, which she's done,
and we missed it. She did it in Brooklyn, and we didn't go.
Kate?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And when?
She did Streetcar.
Oh my God, we didn't go. I would go to Brooklyn.
And then brought it here, and Lee Oldman directed it.
Wow. That's right. I remember. No,
I knew that
it
we
may
missed
have been before we were together.
Oh.
But I don't. But she did do it.
Well, we saw Jillian. And we went to Brooklyn to see Jillian.
Yeah, but the other thing is she's done a lot of these things while I've been away for the summer, and they're limited runs.
Well, and I think that's when we missed her in the Maids.
We missed her in the Maids at Lincoln Center, which would have been
for 1 week, wasn't it? Just 1 week.
Whatever, we would have moved heaven and earth. But she often does it in the summer, and I'm never there in the summer. So, did you see her in The Talented Mr. Ripley?
Yes,
I love that performance.
I think
that's
Elizabeth was my first film, but that was, I think, the first film after Elizabeth.
Well, it's an early film of hers.
Yeah,
and it's a small role, but she made quite a mark.
Yeah.
What was that?
She's
movie?
what I remembered most about that film.
Not me, but I mean, I love. That's another movie I've seen.
What was that movie that you
but...
showed me that I loved? Where she's kind of a psychic.
Oh, The Gift.
Oh, yes, The Gift.
The Gift is an amazing performance, and I love that movie.
Yes.
It's she is, and again,
seamless.
And it's she's a Southern, poor.
She can transform.
Yeah.
Like nobody else.
Yeah.
Now, did you see the Tim Tam commercial?
Did I see the Tim Tam commercial? Okay.
Yes, baby Kate, when she was very, very, very young.
Oh, that's fun. The other one that and I'm going somewhere with this, so bear with me. But Kate Hepburn.
Oh.
In The Aviator.
The Aviator.
I was so looking forward to it, and maybe I had too high expectations. I don't know. Particularly the first scene, and the first few scenes, it was to me a caricature.
What can you do? You're playing Kate Hepburn. Kate Hepburn is a caricature of herself.
Exactly. No, I totally got it. I understood up here, but it was like, I wanted her to do something more than what would be expected with Kate Hepburn.
I think she did.
But eventually, as the movie went on and it got more into the relationship and Kate, in a way where it's not public Kate, it was private Kate, yes, she toned it down and became more real and believable. And, and then as a whole, I could love the performance. Ironically, though, I almost had the same kind of reaction at the beginning of Carol.
Really?
And let me explain. Because she is a persona at the beginning of the film.
Well,
And I was, but I didn't know what they were going to do. I didn't know what she was going to do, and where it was going to go. So at first I was like, oh, a little disappointment of, oh, this is a caricature again. No. But, you know, as the movie progresses and you get to know Carol and her performance as, you know, evolves as she's so brilliantly crafted, you get more the real person. And so you realize at the beginning, she's not only Therese's image, you know, but Carol's creation.
Exactly. I mean, when you think the layers of that performance,
and then you get to, you know, by the time you're in the lawyer's office, and that brilliant scene in the lawyer's office where she's giving up her daughter,
which we quote on a daily basis. But we're not ugly people.
We're not. Yes. I don't know. It comes up so many times in so many ways.
But we're not going to the supermarket, Harge. Whatever.
So no. Oh my God, Carol.
And the other one at the end, the other moment that always gets me, always, and will always get me, is her "I love you" when they're having
not only that, but then because you realize what happened at the beginning that you didn't know.
It's such a brilliant film. I will never forgive the Academy Awards.
I know.
Never. They had the spot to dare not to nominate this film.
I know.
To dare to just do it because they could. You know. I will never forget, and I will never forgive.
Yeah. And that moment of "I love you," I've often thought you could not have had those words before that moment from either of them. And it's what we were saying before in our vlog about it, was that it's a story of falling in love. They're not in love till the end. They're not in a relationship until the end.
Not at least as much as they understand it or can make sense of it to themselves.
Exactly. That they're a conscious participant in a love relationship. It doesn't happen till the end. When she says "I love you," it's like, now you can believe those words because
we've lived the journey of it. Yes. It's
so
first
many
of all,
romantic movies. They're saying "I love you," within the first half hour, and you're like, what?
We kind of said "I love you" the first half hour,
practically.
Thank you so much, Sarah, again.
As always, for your support. It is so much fun talking to you.
It's great talking to you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, it's a pleasure, and
we love it. Obviously,
we have another one to look forward to.
Yes, we do.
Which we'll do a month or so later.
We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, darling. Bye.
Bye.